In this lesson, I'm going to teach you a very simple chord progression using just 2 chords and what notes fit over that. But more importantly, how do we turn those notes into music? So let's learn the chords first. We have E major 7 to E minor 7. That's the E major 7 shape. We have a root, major 3rd and major 7th. I'm using fingers 2, 1 and 4. You can use 3 if you feel that's better for you. I'm using the fleshy part of my thumb to pluck the E, and then using free strokes rather than rest strokes. So the index finger just comes away from the D string. You're probably used to rest strokes where you rest on a string below. Free strokes, you come away a bit. That is an E major 7 chord, and if you move the 2 notes on the D and the G string down 1 fret and you keep the E the same, you have an E minor 7 chord. It's just a lovely transition between those 2 chords. I'm changing the fingers there. I'm going 3, 1, 4. Those are the fingers I'm using. But you could use the same. You could go 2, 1, 3 and just swivel around and use the same fingers. So it's a major 3rd and a major 7th going down to a minor 3rd and a minor 7th. That's the difference between those 2 chords. There are a number of things that fit over each of these chords, and that's what we'll look at now. I'll go through them fairly quickly, but not to worry, I've got the tab and shapes for you that you can download for free via the link below. We'll start with a very simple triad. That's the 1st, 3rd and 5th note of a scale, and for major it's this. All of those notes are in that chord. Well, actually, a voicing is what notes you choose to put in a chord, and I actually haven't put the 5th in there. But it would fit over it. And over the minor, you just need to change the major 3rd. Again, down 1 fret. I'm going to play it like this. Frets 7, 10 of the A string, and then 9 on the D string. So those are triads, really simple. If we add a 7th on top of that, we get a major 7th arpeggio and a minor 7th arpeggio. What you can do is you can play these chords into your looper pedal or digital audio workstation. I'm using Logic here. Or if you're not up to speed with that, I'll give you the backing track as well. And this is what it sounds like. There I just didn't start on the lowest note and go up and down. I just started on the 7th there. And already I'm starting to try and use rhythms and phrasing to make it a little bit more musical. Those notes are in bass lines as well. So even though this is more of a melodic, kind of a theory lesson, the principles are the same. Certain notes fit to certain chords, know those, and you're really going to be doing well. So those are 7th arpeggios. Then we're going to move on to the mode. Now a mode, you can think of it as a scale, and this really shows where the chord comes from. Let's play an E major scale. This is how it goes. The 1st, the 3rd and the 7th notes within that scale, that's where that chord voicing comes from. Okay, it fits together. Great to know. I actually want to use a different scale or mode over this. I want to use an E Lydian. That is almost exactly the same as a major scale, except the fourth note is raised. Here's where things can get blindingly confusing if you don't really know about this, if this is new to you. A mode is really just a subset of a scale. So if I play B major, right? But I start those notes on the fourth note of B major, which is E. So I play from there, but I play the notes of B major. I have an E Lydian. So a Lydian mode is the fourth mode of a major scale. Even if that explanation confused you, which I don't blame you if it did, I have a music theory course that goes through all of this stuff from the basics to modes of the harmonic minor, melodic minor, and way, way more. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link below. We have this shape. And I like that sound over the major 7, so we're going to go with that. Then for the minor 7, play this. This is E Dorian. Not to go too much into it, just the second mode of a major scale. You can also play it like this. So very slowly, here's the Lydian, E Lydian. With the chords, if I stay there for a minute, so instead of going up and down the scale, let's try and use fragments of the scale, maybe use different rhythms to try and make it more musical. Stopping on the 7th note. Got to change to Dorian now. It's very much like a musical jigsaw puzzle. Over the major, you play, in this example, the Lydian, E Lydian, and then over the minor, you play the E Dorian. And you've just got to get used to which one's which and use your ears to hear what's coming up next. And what I was doing a lot of was stuff like this. Maybe staying on that note and then thinking, oh look, that's the note in the upcoming scale. It's kind of good, this, because it forces you into listening and playing different things on a fretboard. Anyway, those modes fit together. And then we can simplify things by using the pentatonic scale. So over the E major chord, we have this. That's the shape, the box shape in the position that I happen to be in right now. And we're just going to stick with that, be really, really simple for now. And then for the minor, that's switching in between without a backing track. I'll show you the blues scales now, because it's exactly the same, but just one note different. I'll start with the minor. That note added in, flat 5. For the major, I'm going to change the position a bit, the pattern. A reminder, you can get the PDF down below, so don't worry too much if you're not getting it right now. You have to go and practice. This is where we get melodic. I love these scales on bass. And especially when you use things like what I just did. Slides, pull-offs, hammer-ons, these expressive techniques that you get on bass. You can repeat notes. And and that helps your playing as well. Let's do that. I'm going to show you these 4 notes: E, F sharp, B, C sharp. On the 7th and 9th frets of the E and the A. That's what fits to the major. Then when you go to minor, just move the 9th fret notes to the 10th fret, keep those the same, and that fits over the minor. Let's restrict ourselves just to that. That's a strangely hypnotic exercise, that, just using only those 4 notes and getting used to which ones you play over the major, which ones over the minor. Very good for your fingers and your brain and everything. Let's use the shape here. E major pentatonic and or the blues version and the minor version. And that's enough notes to do loads. This is towards the end of the lesson, and this is the bit about how to make all of this stuff musical. Just a couple of really, really obvious points here that I'm going to mention. If your fingers aren't moving that fast, and you don't know how to do pull-offs or fast plucking, then obviously that's something that is on the list of something you need to learn. So this will help you because you can just get the scale. Go slower than that, obviously, but you're building up. Building up to being able to do this. So hammer-ons. I've got lessons on all of this, by the way. Slides. So you have the notes, but to bring them to life, you have to use techniques, you have to use timing and phrasing. And you can just use my backing track or use your own looper pedal or Logic or Cubase, whatever you use, and just have something on in the background and create your own exercises and work your way through this. So download the backing track and the PDF. Please do give this video a like and do subscribe to the channel. Lots of people watch my videos but don't subscribe, and subscriptions help me to keep these free lessons, PDFs, etc. coming. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.